Alrighty folks, welcome back. Today I'm going to be working on the biggest coaster I've ever tried to do. Um, I wanted a B&M Hypercoaster. Turned out it was to be about 250 feet, so definitely on the taller end of the hypercoasters. I was definitely basing it off a little bit of Maku at SeaWorld Orlando. Went on that coaster many times. The one time I went to SeaWorld there, and it was just so fun. So just that huge airtime. So I wanted to try to recreate that. Um, Again, having to manage the speed and the G-forces a lot just because of how big these hills are. And then the layout I wanted to be similar to Maku, where it had that left-hand turn at 90 degrees, and then came back. And then what I wanted at the end was, after the block section, was a little bit more of a dynamic kind of turns and banking. So no more of those air hills afterwards, something a little bit more spicy, if you say. So once I figured that out and got the coaster almost fully connected, throughout while I was going out building it, I was also adjusting the G-forces just because it was a little bit easier to do so while there wasn't as many vertices and nodes and stuff on the map. So looking at them and fixing them along the way I found was easier. That was something that I learned recently, so definitely going to be using that trick. As well as definitely nailing down exactly what the configuration is that I like for the game, and it's definitely this having this perspective where I can just kind of monitor more things and then have the two. Definitely, I almost never change the vertical, just top-down view, and then having the bottom left as doing left, right, front, or back, depending on what I need at the time, whatever the track piece is in front of. Once that was done, I went around and smoothed stuff using the deep pump vertices where I can, making sure that the shape wasn't ruined too much, and then just adjusting things slightly with banking, and also ensuring the G-forces are manageable. And then once that was done, started doing the supports. This time I did not make the same mistake I did on the wooden, where everything was generated, because you had to put the prefab things on, so that took a bit of time. And then I went around and atomized the ones that I needed to, just because I didn't like the way that some of them generated, so I wanted to rearrange them so that they just looked better. And once that was done, I started working on the scenery and just testing portion, which actually took quite a while. Especially, and I did actually have some mix-up with the supports in some cases where I changed some stuff, and the atomized ones did not change, so learned that as well. So there's trees and water, just to make the area look a little bit prettier. So yeah, once I changed some stuff, I had to go around, and every time I test road, which is one of the reasons why you'll see me going in and out of the editor so many times, is because I, fix one thing, continue the run, and then notice all of the support sticking up again. So I had to go back and fix a lot of those. But I was trying to make sure that the speed was what I wanted after the block section, and it was actually quite a bit slower than what I was hoping for. So I went back and raised some of those portions, but then I had to go readjust some of the things because of the G-forces at the higher speeds. So I did a few test rides. Here's the one, and I did that just at normal speed, and it was a little bit slower than what I wanted. So I went around, and I think it was because of the trim and block sections. I didn't want the trims to activate, but for some reason they were. So I changed those. I raised the entire coaster up, and then lowered the entire second half of the section so it had more potential energy to go off of for the second half, so it was a little bit faster, and that ended up being what I wanted. So overall, really liked this coaster, really enjoyed doing it. It was quite a bit of a challenge to make it at this scale, definitely the biggest one I've ever done. If you want to see the POV, go check out the other video. Thanks for watching.